Hello and welcome to Longship Gaming. It's Casual Sunday. We're just going to go over what's been going on, what we've got in the pipe currently, and where we're looking to go in the future. As you can see, we have a lot of different things showing up here. So just to go over last few weeks, last weekend, able to have finally a bunch of my friends over. So thanks to Stu, Kevin, Brian, and Rob for coming over. We played a number of games. Played a game of Super Fantasy Brawl with the models that I had finished that I showed off in the last Casual Sunday. Very fun game. Fairly light, but very quick. And wow, it was so nice to be able to play with those models. And they have gone off to their forever home now. So that and their giant box are now out of my house. Played a game of War World Auto Racing, which is a fun little card game that simulates street races. I'll link to that game in the description below. It's fun. It's a fun indie game. I'd suggest if you're interested in that sort of theme, then check it out. MCP stuff. Well, I played MCP, so I played Web Warriors into X-Men, Storm X-Men. That was great. Hadn't really played anything in a very long time, and in playing that, reminded that it's a very incredibly tight rule set, and look forward to playing more in the future if myself, my family, and my friends all stay relatively healthy. Then we played a game of Betrayal Legacy. That one's been going on for 3 years, and I think we're halfway through. It's not a very long campaign, but boy, we just have not been able to continue with it. If people are interested in the Legacy game, it's not as heavy a game as, say, Gloomhaven. The setup's pretty easy, and also, you don't have to really remember much that goes on from session to session. So Gloomhaven, if anybody's played that, it can be relatively heavy and takes a while to play. Betrayal is much more of a light legacy game. A good one for people to sort of dip their toes into if they are not used to or have never played a legacy game. Yeah. Oh, and I was doing some Aeon's End practice against the Carapace Queen. I used the randomizer for the first time, mixing in some of the cards from the first expansion I was able to get. Well, I think that Carapace Queen, I'm going to have to actually take some time over the next few days to build a market and choose the breach mages that would actually be able to take on the Carapace Queen effectively, just because the number of husks that she puts out all the time. I mean, I'll record one in the future once I get that down, but I really am going to have to tailor the market and the breach mages towards actually defeating her. I don't think you can sort of wing it with her based on the scenario. But again, we'll get to that one in the future. So upcoming, nothing really new. I wasn't able to get my hands on Tiny Epic Dungeons, so that's out of the picture for now. I do have a sort of a sci-fi hole in my schedule. It's either going to be Tiny Epic Galaxies, maybe Warp's Edge, or Anachrony. But all of these, like a lot of solo games right now, are difficult to get. So you can get some parts of it, but you can't get other parts of it. So we'll see. I'm not in a huge rush. I have plenty of content planned anyway. And I also need a little more space, and I'll get to that in a minute, to be able to record larger games. MCP looking forward to the release of the Winter Guard and Malekith. So that's 5 models. So they're ramping back up again for the releases into the fall and winter, or late summer. This is typically how it goes. Those are going to get added to the backlog with everything else. We have, as of this recording, so this is late July, for Marvel Champions content, we have reached the end of having played all of the villains on the channel. That wraps up end of August. And there won't be any new villains coming out until mid-September or so, when Mutant Genesis comes out. So we have a bit of a gap. So I'll go over in a minute what I'm planning to do to fill that gap. So mentioning larger space in August as well, I'm planning to build out a better gaming table. So right now we have a foldable table that I put 3 2x4 planks on, with some no slip underneath, to make a 4x6 table, which is ideal for, like, well, not so much anymore, since 4x6 is not the measurement of most of the like Warhammer 40k or Age of Sigmar. You don't really need them that big anymore, but it's just that it was a kludgy way of doing it. It wasn't very stable, and I really could not attach my phone holder camera arm to the table itself. So we needed something more permanent and something with more storage. So in August, I'm going to be doing an IKEA hack of a couple of Besta drawer units and 2 kitchen tabletops. They're nice and thick and sturdy and won't warp, and put those on top. So I learned that from a miniatures painter that I follow on Instagram, Dana Howell. I should probably link to her as well. She built out an entire studio this way, and I really liked the idea of what she did. The storage underneath may not be used for anything relating to games, though, because it's going to serve double duty for the work that my wife does with her fiber arts. So it's going to be a shared space. It's going to have storage underneath. A little worried maybe about how it affects the leg room, but the way I want to arrange the shelves underneath, I mean, it will be movable. So we'll see. That's going to be August when I finally get that stuff in. But I look forward to having a larger space that I can spread out games more. I can get into larger, say, board games in the future, because I'm staring down the barrel of Frosthaven. Yeah, so maybe I'll record those. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to having this permanent space set up that's multifunctional. Okay, so as far as stuff we've gotten done, we've got some models painted finally. So this week, I was kind of inspired after having played MCP for the first time in a while. Let's see if we can get her focused in here. No, okay, we'll just leave her back here. Okay, so we got Electra and her hand ninja tokens. So largely for the red parts, it was all dry brushing, because sometimes I just don't have the patience to manually paint all of her wrapping. It's kind of a drag, but the skin tones were all done manually, building up from darker skin tone to highlights of white. Pleased with the way she turned out, and the ninjas. For a model that really has no point value in the game whatsoever, that's essentially just a very large token, I didn't want to spend a ton of time getting these guys done. But all except for the bases. I got these guys done. I think the next time I play MCP, I am going to run Criminal Syndicate under Shadowlands Daredevil, since I will have them painted. And then, this past week was the release of Heimdall and Scourged the Executioner, so more models to finally add to Asgard. I left off the Rainbow Bridge stuff that surrounds him because I don't know. It kind of obscured them. I get the point of why they were doing it, but it obscured the model too much. But I didn't spend the time etching off or scraping off the rainbow bits that are at the bottom of his sword. So I'll paint those in the Bifrost colors. But nice big chunky model boys that will fit right in with getting used to doing like Electra she was small, and I have not done a lot of small models recently. So doing these guys fits in nicely with these next ones I have. So I did get, after, finishing off the first wave of Super Fantasy Brawl, well, now I have had delivered the next 9 in in round 2. So Kevin brought them to me, got them sprayed up on a day that wasn't all that humid today, and so now we have an arrangement of new models to work with. So we've got Sir Tentaclot, who's like a squid guy in heavy armor. Really, that's not the thing I don't like to see, is like way down deep in there between the tentacles is his armor. So got to do that, working from the inside out again. Alchemy, some kind of Jinn character. This one should be relatively easy to do. Very open pose. Isabella, a seer in a wheelchair. It's not a lot to this character. Probably going to surprise me though, detail wise. One of the plainer ones, actually one of the smallest. Lily, steampunk sort of assassin character. Not the most open model, but still not bad. Nicket. Nicket's funny. It's what appears to be 3 goblins in a costume. That's going to be a fun one. Khalees, another bird person. Pretty open. This one's like really light creamy tones, so let's see what I have to do with this one for layering and doing color transitions on the wings. I have to check out some of the official art. Xin Shen, there's a cat monk. This one looks pretty straightforward. Pretty simple color palette. Lots of warm tones. Jacques Lebeau, the Jack of Hearts. He has a lot of swords and daggers, but again, pretty straightforward. And then lastly, King Alistair, the Scaled Tyrant. Big dragon knight guy with a sword. Sword's a little warped, I just noticed. For some reason it has fangs attached to his cape. For some reason. Kevin's requested that I paint this guy first, so he's going to be first up in the queue. So I look forward to getting those guys done. Hopefully it doesn't take me over a year to do them. I have to really buckle down. I got to get back into painting. Much more regular painting. Okay, so other than that, MCP. So I've done this so there aren't really any significant spoilers. So I had a look at my win and loss against villains in the game. And now I think it's time to embark. Now that I've finished going through all the villains, it's time to embark on the vengeance cycle. So I've got a selection of 5 villains here that I have lost to previously. These villains have already aired on the channel, so there's no spoilers here. So we have Venom, Crossbones, Tower Defense, so Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive, and then Red Skull and Nebula. So Red Skull was the first villain I played against on the channel. So he's probably going to get the vengeance treatment first. I'd like to get an idea if anyone wants to state in the comments below which one they would like to see me go up against first. And I can do that. But, of course, we also have quite a few heroes that I have not played, because the heroes outnumber the villains quite significantly in this game. And again, in the future, once we get through this first 5, I'll be taking on another group of them. This should at least take us into the Mutant Genesis cycle and then beyond that. So, you know, this is content planned out to, I'd say at least November at this point. I haven't done the math on it, but it's going to be quite a bit. So, yeah, we've got left Captain Marvel, Black Panther and Iron Man, Hawkeye, Valkyrie, Miss Marvel, War Machine, Star-Lord, Thor, and Spectrum. I mean, I know which ones I'd be more likely to play and which ones I would put up against certain villains and the aspects I would play. So 100%, you know, for Red Skull's going to be somebody very capable of thwarting, for example. And Crossbone's probably aggression. We'll see. But I look forward to going through the cycle. And hopefully this time I can clear them all. And then decide where to go from there. Maybe do campaign games, which is something I don't normally do. Or playing on higher difficulty levels. We'll see. Anyway, so that's what we've got coming up. Where we're going in the future. And thanks everyone for continuing to watch and to comment. It's been great. And until next time, happy gaming. Thank you so much for watching Longship Gaming. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It will really help the channel to grow and improve. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when more Longship Gaming content goes live. Until next time, happy gaming.